Hello friends, my name is Gagandeep Singh and I am from ElectroHack. You are watching the very first tutorial on VLSI. In this tutorial we are going to study about some basic introduction about VLSI. So first is what is VLSI? As we know, VLSI stands for Very Large Scale Integration, and also VLSI is a combination of two sentences. First is very large scale and the other is integration. Very large scale means about the size of the circuit or the quantity of components fabricated on a single chip, and the word integration means about this technique where many circuit components and the wiring that connects them are manufactured simultaneously into a compact, reliable and inexpensive chip. So before going on to the VLSI, let's have some brief introduction about the ICs. So first is what is ICs? IC is a chip in which the number of components like gates, flip-flops, registers are mounted in a single chip to perform a specific task. Next is IC classifications. On the basis of number of components fabricated on a single chip, ICs are classified into 5 types. First is small scale integration, second is medium scale integration, third is large scale integration, fourth is very large scale integration, and last is ultra large scale integration. Talking about the history of different components developed, firstly in 1906 vacuum tubes are developed which dominate the TV and radio industry. In 1940 PN junctions are developed by OHL. In 1947 Bardeen and Britain creates point contact transistors with PN junctions. In 1958 Jack Kilby first dreamed up the idea of monolithic integrated circuits. Next in 1968 Robert Noyce and Murray Lee Fairchild found Intel. In 1971, the first microprocessor was introduced, which was designed by Ted Hoff. Next is the advantages of the VLSI, for which the VLSI is being used for designing large circuits. These are: integration improves the design, very small in size, reduced manufacturing cost, higher compatibility, lower power, and it is the key technology of world's economy. Next is Moore's law, prediction made by Intel co-founder Gordon Moore in 1965, which states that the number of transistors on a chip doubles every 2 years. As shown in graph, in 1970, 4004 microprocessor was developed, which was consist of about 2500 transistors. After 3 years, in 1973, 8080 microprocessor was developed, which was consist of about 8000 transistors. So just in 3 years, the number of transistors get multiplied by 3. So Murray explains this prediction about the increase of the number of transistors required to be fabricated on a single chip. Next is VLSI design flow. In this we are going to study about the procedure to be taken for designing VLSI circuits. So in VLSI design flow, the first step to be undertaken is design specification. The design specification includes block diagrams, internal block diagrams, timing specifications, total power consumptions, total gate count, and the total cost of the target design. The next step after design specification is design entry. In this, the user can enter a design through a schematic editor or a hardware description language like VHDL. The next step following design specification is compilation. In this, the HDL compiler analyzes the code and for syntax errors and also checks its compatibility with other modules on which it relies. After design specification, function simulation is to be performed. It allows the detection of functional errors in a design without having to create and operate the circuit. The next step after function simulation is synthesis. Synthesis is the process of deriving of list of physical components and their interconnections. The net list can be used to fabricate an integrated circuit. Next is timing simulation. As we know, each gate in the circuit has some propagation delay. Timing simulation checks each signal path to verify that it is not compromised by propagation delay. The next step to be performed is place and route. This step is also known as physical design. It includes two operations: placement of the logic functions in the optimized circuit in the target chip and interconnecting the components in the chip referred to as routing. The last step in VLSI design flow is chip implementation. It configures the actual chip to realize the design specifications. Next are EDA tools. There are various EDA tools available in the market that are used by different tools for design process, such as design entry, simulation, synthesis. So for design entry, Xilinx ISE Sult, Ultramax Plus Second, Mentor Graphics HDL Designer are used. For simulation, Synopsys VSS, ModelSim are used. For synthesis, Xilinx synthesis technology, Cypress synthesis, Synopsys FPGA Express and FPGA compiler are used. For implementation, Ultramax Plus IE, Active Designer and Xilinx Foundation series tools are used. So thanks for watching. For any queries, questions or suggestions, you can contact us on the mentioned IDs on the website. See you in the next video.